Welcome to the Luxine series. This series will have dead times, not so accurate post production, and a lot of backtracking. This series is meant to be a deep lore analysis and 100% completion of the game. Thanks for your attention.
Lasciate ogni speranza o voi che entrate. Hi guys, welcome back to Dante's Hell. I'm Dante Ojek, and last episode ended with a beautiful secret put in the Dead Space remake, obtainable only with those codes. This is episode 12 of Lux in Morthus Spatio. Right where we left off, I even forgot to turn on the music and the sound effects again because I put them out to listen to the song in all its beauty. A Dead Space version of the song by The Longest Jones. Beautiful, beautiful version of that song. Now, while we save and we go to find the last redirecting control point in the water purification system, if I remember correctly. Last time we had a beautiful talk that was, I will admit, a bit out of my complete mind, was a little balked, confused, but unitology has now been discussed. We know that there are a bunch of lunatics that they do actually buy the corpses of people, or they expect their faithful members of their own church and religion to give their bodies in commemoration and awaiting of this so-called convergence event, when all of the bodies and spirits and souls will be reunited into a single form during convergence. The event we discussed, we already saw. If you did play Dead Space 2, you saw it start. If you played until Dead Space 3 and played the entire original trilogy, you saw a convergence event conclude itself. Now, that in the original was supposedly for the fans a apparition of Chen, because unlike in the remake where Chen is basically a necromorph that was following Amand around, in the original Chen that just died and stayed dead without we ever knowing what happened, what was in the, let's say, escape pod that Amon launches wasn't specified if it was Chen or anyone else. They just said he closed a necromorph in there and now he will push it out. It was just a random slasher. While in the remake, we got Chen following him around. So now the most probable thing is that that is an apparition of either a premonition of Hammond and how he will end up, or an apparition of a person that Isaac saw dying, either being one of the crew members we saw or Johnston. I would like to think it was Johnston.
Elizabeth, it's Jacob. I came to the bridge looking for you, but it is completely fucked. I'm not sticking around in case whatever did it comes back, and neither should you. It looks like the admin staff went to the mining deck to meet up with the other survivors. I'll head there too. If you aren't with them, I'll find a way to contact you.
So everyone is down at the mining deck. Hopefully, maybe we could meet some survivors when we go there. But right around the corner, there he is. Hello. We meet a pregnant necromorph. Thankfully, we already met one of these. And we read about them. We know that aiming for the bulgeous stomach or abdominal area, if you wish to call it that way, is the bad idea around. Because in that sack are contained smaller necromorphs. Yes, I know I am saving again. That is because I am actually scared out of my brain. In the last episode, I also told you that during this chapter, sadly, until we get to New Game Plus, we will not have all the logs of this chapter, chapter 4, because one of the logs will stay unfound. For the reason that in the remake, they made some of the logs missable and obtainable only in New Game Plus, because they are given to you only if you do specific things. In this case, and in this mission, you can only get 2 out of 3 logs. Doing our method, or what we did in the last episode, you get 2, but you don't get the third that you get actually here. This way.
Power transferred from water purification to ATS cannons.
Power from water purification's been rerouted. Must have tripped something. All the access doors just sealed.
Works for me. God knows what's floating around down there.
That's one. We still need more power. A couple more systems should do it.
And that is the missing log. So apart from that log, now we should get 100% completion of the logs in chapter 4 as well.
We got it. The ADS cannons are back online. Wait, auto-targeting offline. Calibration data not found. Fuck. No auto-targeting. The cannons are useless.
What about manual targeting?
You want to go out there with all that shit raining down and target the ADS cannons manually?
If I give the cannons enough targeting data, it'll recalibrate the system. You got a better idea?
Christ. I'll open exterior access. I hope you know what you're doing.
We don't. But we will do it nonetheless. That objective is now cleared. We now have calibrated 3 ADS cannons. The ADS outer targeting is offline, but I can recalibrate the system manually by syncing the cannons to my tools. Let's see if I can do it with asteroids raining down. The original, and if I was at impossible difficulty, I would now be panicking and screaming for my existence. Because if some of you that played the original remember what we had to go through to actually get a syncing data on the ADS cannons, you know that was absolutely not fun. I died so many times to those asteroids, and to get a achievement in the original PS3 Dead Space 2008, you actually had to survive that section with a specific number of...
What's the plan?
I'll sync a few of the ADS cannons to one of my tools. I target an asteroid, the cannons take it out, and I recalibrate the system.
We're out of options. Do it.
As I was saying, you had to survive with more than, what was it, 65% shield on your ship. That was bonkers, especially in high difficulties. But we already know this, and these are all the same, but the number change. We have ADS cannon 12, 13, and 14, and they all say the same thing. I need to sync cannon DHADS-012 to one of my tools. When I target an asteroid, the cannon should take it out.
Security request retrieved.
God! Someone stop him!
This is Second Officer Sheik. I need security here right now. The away from the controls. We need our first officer. Captain Matthias is dead. The captain's dead? Vincent's security team is dead? Who's left? Step away from the airlock. That's an order. Who's left, Chief? A crew full of uni fanatics? Eckhart screwed us good, didn't he? If a CEC director could go that bad, maybe the whole company's rotten to the core. Just like Aegis 7. You think CEC won't send a rescue team for their precious planet cracker? Think twice. We just need to hold on. Yes. You probably should. No, stop! What? You goddamn fool! Seal it! Do the airlock now!
That was an interesting log. Because while we know they were talking about how the Ishimura is actually going to all hell with the necromorphs, they talked about how Heckard, the CEC mining overseer, screwed them over. And he also talked about how they are basically surrounded by unitology fanatics. That is a truth, sadly. They are surrounded by unitology fanatics. Now, they made it a lot more easier, or at least at lower difficulties it is pretty easy. Just aim and shoot until it gets to 100%, and now it shoots by itself. The problem here is not having my suit upgraded. I actually get all the possible oxygen sucked out of my self, and it scares me because if I get hit by one of those asteroids, I will probably just perish without having to possibly ask for forgiveness in any way. I hope I won't die. Please. I need to do this fast. Okay. Give me something to shoot. It's unbelievable. I thought the original was come on. That's it. Oxygen. Nice and fast. And I didn't see necromorphs around. That's strange. Where are you going, Isaac? Go down. Don't you dare. The technique here in Impossible is basically just do it as fast as you can, and it's strange I didn't get shot by any necromorph. I remember lurkers being around in here. There they are.
Data migration
Yup.
complete. ADS recalibrated.
There you are.
Auto-targeting systems enabled.
There they
They're
are.
back. The ADS cannons
They're
are online.
absolutely lovely.
Engaging autopilot.
Before we go inside,
Isaac. I think I figured out our next move.
don't fly away, Isaac. We need to get that as well. White's rig. Now, as soon as we get inside, we will read all about those. First, let me get inside and let me get some air as well. I am not dying because of oxygen. I refuse to die before I forgot to recharge my oxygen tank. Please. They could have made the thrusters go faster, actually. And when you play with the legacy suit, actually, don't get the thrusters. I mean, you see the blue flares, but that suit doesn't have the design to make it come out.
Exiting
So there's
zero
actually
gravity.
absolute nothing.
Exiting vacuum.
Let's see. We should almost have all of them. No, we do. We obtain 100% even this time around. We shall read about the rig that we found. This is the captain's rig that we got in medical, but we found White's rig. The vacuum damaged remains of First Officer's White's rig. The one that we heard talking in the recording. Now, of course, I will save because of my punny little fear of absolutely dying at any juncture of this game at this difficulty, because I don't remember it like I remember the original.
I Isaac, Hammond, I just intercepted a transmission for medical.
Someone's down there?
See what you make of this.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is a sanctuary. All survivors, please join us.
Nicole, I'm going back to medical.
Makes sense.
I'll head to the crew deck and look for survivors from the bridge. I'll be in touch.
The crew deck. Wonder if you know something we don't.
Return to the medical deck. She's alive. Daniels picked up a transmission from Nicole, telling survivors to join her in medical. I have to find her. No more returning to the captain's nest. And chapter 4 is completed. Now we are heading to chapter 5. We just read about return to the medical deck. Let's get our fire breathing gun right out and kill these little pieces that are actually parts of a particular necromorph that I won't talk about until we get to the complete form of this necromorph. But I don't remember if it's right after this elevator action. That could be a problem in our situation. No, it's not. I have a contact beam. I changed my mind. This will go absolutely smoothly. So Nicole, again, is in the middle of the story in the remake, while we didn't get almost any trace of her in the original. Here in the remake, my god, do we get some main plot with Nicole. That is, in some way, what they tried to do with Dead Space 2 in the original trilogy. Nicole was just all over the goddamn place. And the contact beam is not bad. They made it a good gun. And I don't even want to know what it can do with upgraded damage. Suit level 3. Intermediate engineer suit. 20,000. Do we have 20,000? 3,000, 2,000. We have 29,000. Yeah, we should be good with this. So let's sell our semiconductors. Yep, sell and sell. Nothing in storage. And let's buy ourselves a suit level 3. We finally get our upgraded new look for the level 3 suit. And there she is. The classic suit that became the flagship of the Dead Space series. The intermediate engineer rig. From the fandom, it tells us that in the intermediate engineer rig is an exclusive resource integration gear available for Class 4 engineers, and is a standard equipment when working in mildly hazardous environments. The suit has a bulky appearance due to the amount of armor plating attached, which reinforces the helmet, abdomen and leggings, as well as a forearm guard for the right arm. This is what became the flagship suit, as I told you, for the Dead Space series. Isaac is always represented wearing this suit. In the inventory, we say level 3 suit, and now we have 10% armor. Clearance is always the same, but now we have 17 inventory slots and gives us 4 health points without upgrading it. This is my favorite suit. Of course, it's pretty standard. You can tell me, oh, you like the flagship suit, really. Who would have guessed? Well, not everyone likes this suit. But a lot of people maybe prefer the level 5 suit. You know? Level 6 suit. Now, I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing against the military grade suit. But, my god. In the remake, I saw it once, I think. Yes, I put it on once. My absolute god. I preferred it in the original. I'm gonna be 100%. I preferred the military grade suit in the original. In the original, it looked so much better than it does now. Oh, ho, ho, look at that screen going completely am with marker symbols. This is when you should start asking yourself, so is Isaac actually seeing this screen going nuts? Or is the marker doing something to Isaac, making him believe that the screen is going completely am? That is a question that is going to get his answer in another moment. Now, let's get to medical, because we saw a transmission from Nicole, our supposedly disappeared girlfriend. We don't know where is located, but apparently she's just assembling survivors at medical.
To the chemical lab.
What? You said the chemical lab? I can barely hear you.
Shit.
No signal for us. And something has clearly changed here in medical. Because the first time we were here, these candles were not here. There were bodies and body bags all around the place. But now, it looks like it has been cleaned. And all the bodies have been moved. Locate the source of the broadcast. Something is seriously wrong in medical, but I'm sure Nicole's broadcast came from here. I need to find the source of her message and make sure she's okay. Basically, our mission right now is find Nicole. They even moved all the boxes that were here in this corridor. Remember the boxes? I will probably... Let's put an image of what is changed. Now, we have this. This is how it is now. And put an image of how it was. Everything has been moved. Body bags, boxes. And now there are just 3 candles. Bringing us to the security station in the middle of medical.
Daniels, the door to medical just locked behind me. Hello?
Another survivor. At last. You'll be safe here. I'm a doctor.
Is Nicole Brennan with you?
You're not here for sanctuary, then? Well, Dr. Brennan's currently engaged. Shall I send you to her?
How about you unlock these doors and I'll find her myself?
Are you that selfish? You might let something in. Or out.
Shit.
So, you've decided to be difficult. Take a seat. I'll deal with you momentarily.
Finally, we meet someone that isn't exactly friendly, it seems. Locate the source of the broadcast. Mission did not change. But will we actually find Nicole where we are going? Chapter 5. the title is Lethal Devotion. Quite a charming title when you think about let's say, little talk about unitology in the last episode. A lot of lurkers, eh? Will you stop? That's one. As I was saying, after the long talk about unitology we had in the last episode, I'm guessing it won't be strange to get a little more insight into unitology's beliefs and, let's say, problematics as well. Because he's talking about some sanctuary here in medical. There are candles and stuff like that. So probably he isn't exactly one of the crew members that were not into unitology. He is probably a member of unitology himself. Medical has changed quite a bit, as you can see. It was probably rearranged by, we could guess, this man. That corpse he left there. Some doors have been closed. And
Kindly avoid disturbing my other patients.
What is this?
Research, of course. I'm so close to finding that missing factor. A unitologist would understand.
he is killing survivors. Without question, he is killing every possible survivors that come here to medical, probably after hearing that message is spreading around. That was a vent. I heard the vent breaking out. Or are there other... I am absolute... There he is. Going this close to a leaper is the stupidest decision you could take, because he's going to just... Oh, come on. I forgot about you. You absolute disgusting thing. So, this is a new kind of necromorph that usually would be ideally dealt with by using a plasma cutter. Because if you get too close, in the original, will just use to cut your head straight off. It did not do damage, just said your head is coming off. And your head was going to come off. To kill it, you have to take out all the tentacles. Otherwise, it won't die. This is a new form of necromorph. And as usual, we shall go and read what we can get about these guardians. So, from the wiki fandom, guardians are created from a single human body that has been fused together with the corruption, growing on the walls, thus establishing a form of symbiosis. The transformation of the host is quite extensive, and both the first and last stages can be witnessed. The first stage are those little corpses with tentacles from the stomach that we saw in specific points of the corruption section in engineering. They were attached to the wall, the face started skinning, and the intestine were coming out, and there were tentacles. At this stage, the newly formed Guardian is extremely weak and lethargic, easily dispatched, and is incapable of performing any kind of lethal attack. At the very most, they will play dead until you approach them, and they will scare you. They will. Trust me. Especially if you forget they're there. Given sufficient time, though, the torso will transform and ultimately develop to the stage of a mature guardian. The fusion between the human body and the corruption has been, for the most part, completed, with the two being indistinguishable from each other, with most of the human features of the host body being completely gone, as you can see. You cannot exactly understand where the body starts and the body ends. The first thing one notices is the apparent increase in size compared to the previous stage, a result of the fusion with the corruption's biomass. Moreover, the human arms that were a characteristic trait of the premature stage have now disappeared, probably atrophied or otherwise consumed by the corruption. In this case, we can actually see that his arm, you can see his hand probably, is fused to the rest of his body. Alteration can also be seen on the head of the host, with the lower jaw and part of the neck completely missing, exposing the trachea and leading to a wide open thorax and a newly created sac, where the abdomen used to be. The later two are two body structures that have been repurposed and created respectively in order to accommodate with the Guardian's functions. The thoracic cavity now serves as a place for the newly created tentacle appendages to rest. The creature has two kinds of said appendages. The first kind are the appendages that are used to further anchor the creature on their spot and are instantly drawn out once the Guardian has spotted an hostile in their vicinity. The second kind of these appendages, however, is a single side-tipped tentacle that serves as the creature's only mean of attack in close quarters and is what makes the Guardian extremely lethal. As I said, you get close to this, and this side-tipped tentacle beheads you without even asking for your name. The sac is in fact an orifice that serves as a canal for the corruption to spew out embryonic spawn known as pods, which will aid in attacking and keeping detected threats at a distance. So, we met these pods as well, but what are these pods? Pods are small embryo-like necromorphs that Guardians eject as a mean of self-defense. Alone, pods can do very little, but in large groups they can deal serious damage. They are basically lurkers with a single tentacle. The pod extends when threatened a single tentacle that slings sharp projectiles. On the body, a heavily distorted mouth and eyes can be made out. The pod is apparently filled with an organic explosive that causes it to burst when the tentacle is cut. Pods can be found wherever a Guardian is located, and are occasionally spawned from corruption. And that is especially true here in the remake, when there's a specific section that is absolutely fueled with those little pog bathers. Pog bathers? What in the hell did I just say? What just came out of my mouth? So finally, suit level 3 and the upgrade we found are now put into our stuff. And with 4 beautiful nodes, I say let's go for the damage and the cartridge rack on the plasma cutter. And then let's upgrade some more of our suit. Great. Our strategy is coming along just fine, even though we find ourselves without almost no plasma cutter ammunition. Doesn't matter what we are doing, we are always out of plasma cutter ammunition. We did get our level 2 clearance, so before we go forward, we still need to open all the things we couldn't open the first time we got to medical. And I probably forgot some stuff in the security booth, but that's the main space of medical, so we will probably go back there. Get back the energy to the elevators, let's go up, and let's try not to get absolutely destroyed by anything that comes around. Reminder, as any episode, we are currently in impossible difficulty. So if we do get ourselves absolutely destroyed, there is no second try. we are just dead. Look out for the blades, because they will probably kill you if you get hit by those, and that is a leaper sound. That got right back at me. I just said, do not let yourself be eat by your own blade. And what I do is straight get a blade to the face. That was an especially sad display of ability. And no, I will not accept any form of no, that was not. Yes, it was absolutely damp and disgusting to look at. That just showed how I am not good at that. We are almost out of ammo. That is pretty bad for us. But as you can see, the corruption, it's spreading like mad. Medical was clean the first time we came here. And now it is absolutely covered in corruption that we already discussed. Okay? If you're curious about corruption, I suggest you go back to what was episode 7 or 8. Now, Jolo.
Patient log retrieved.
There. I have to record these days. The old memory, you know. As I was saying, the new treatment I'm developing should be just the ticket. The trial is very promising. Trial? You'll be back at your post in a jiffy with CEC none the wiser. Unless you don't trust me.
No, of course I trust you. Let's, give it a shot.
Volunteer 9 is a young male, testing my new tissue regeneration formula. I expect death within the hour, but the changes to the vascular system are very promising. One moment for the cleanup.
For the last time, get a trauma team in here. Yes, I called 3 times. My patient is crashing. Get off your smoke break and help me.
The subtitle kind of gives it away, but what we just heard was Dr. Mercer testing something on a patient, it seems. This time around, we are not going to zero G therapy, but to the chemicals lab. But sadly, we are at the 38-minute mark, and for the first time, I will use this chance to save and end the episode here. We had a long talk. The episode lasted almost an hour with episode 11. We are finally in chapter 5. Once we get to chapter 6, I will probably get a little break during a week. So 1 week of break for after chapter 6. And then 6 more chapters and we are done. As I always say, Algads, I'll see you all again quando torneremo a guardare le stelle. See you next episode. Come on.